So these are my chapter 14 notes and sample problems. I'm making this video because I want to explain things a little better, and I don't think we're going to have time in class to do that. So these are my notes. You took notes, which I handed back. So some big ideas here. Volume flow rate is the same everywhere in a pipe or a closed system. Closed pipe, that is. And we've got two types of flow. We think about ideal fluids. 14.4 dealt with Bernoulli's equation. 14.5 dealt with some specific examples. The strategy box was useful. It's called Torricelli's theorem. So I want to go through a couple of sample problems. Assume we have a water bottle. It's a pinhole at the bottom, 0.4 meters below the liquid surface, and the hole is 0.5 millimeters in diameter. Determine this speed of the fluid as it leaves the hole. I'm going to say that this is water, so our density of water is 1,000 kilograms per cubic meter. The diameter of the bottle is large enough, so we can assume the speed that this is dropping is very low. In other words, the hole is much smaller than this. And honestly, when you look at the math, because it's a speed squared, we can assume that if it's a very small number squared, that this number approaches zero. So this is the general Bernoulli equation. We're trying to figure out this speed as it comes out 0.2. 0.1 and 0.2 are both open to the atmosphere, so those are equal. You could add them in, but then you just subtract them off. So we can cancel those out. If 0.1 is at a wide opening, the speed is going to approach zero, so therefore this term approaches zero. And remember, for any sort of potential energy equation, we get to choose our 0 point. The 0 point being here would make a lot of sense. So density is the same in both sides, so it cancels. So even if I don't know what the fluid is, I could still figure out the speed. So essentially, at the end, I've got the potential energy caused by the amount of fluid that's raised at a certain point, density times g times the height of 1, and that's going to equal 1/2 density times the speed coming out at 0.2. You could put 1,000 kilograms per cubic meter in there. You don't have to. Comes out at around 2.7 meters per second. So this is similar to how if you drop a ball from 0.4 meters above another location, mgh is equal to 1/2 mv squared. That ball would also be going 2.68 meters per second. So that's kind of cool because the mass of the ball would cancel out. For example number 2, I've got something here which is a fairly complex problem. So this is about a gasoline pipeline. The density is 680 kilograms per cubic meter, transports gasoline over a hill. The diameters of the pipeline are shown. So I've given diameters. I'm going to have to think about that to get areas. And the gauge pressure up here is 40 kilopascals or 40,000 pascals. This height difference is 30 meters, and the speed here is 2 meters per second. So if you want to determine the speed of the gasoline at the bottom of the hill, first of all, you've got to use the continuity equation. That's that the volume flow rate in cubic meters per second is equal to the cross-sectional area times the speed at 0.1, cross-sectional area, speed at 0.2. So I could do pi r squared times v1 equals pi r squared times v2. Pi's cancel out. 0.5 squared, because that's the radius. 0.2 squared, because that's the radius. Again, you could use 1 and 0.4 because they're proportional. I don't like to do that. I like to think about things. Just because things don't always cancel out, and if I use the appropriate terms, lets me know. So the area of something is pi r squared. So we get 0.25 v1 equals 0.08. So v1 is going to be at the velocity down here, 0.32 meters per second. Hopefully it makes sense that it's slower because it's much wider. Okay. So it's 2.5 times as wide, so it's 2.5 squared times slower. So to determine the absolute pressure at the bottom of the pipe, here we go to Bernoulli's equation. So essentially what we've got is I need to make sure things are in standard units for this. So even though my pressure up here is 40 kilopascals, I need to add atmospheric pressure to that. So 100 plus 1,000 is atmospheric pressure plus 40,000. I get the 1/2 density v squared up top. I get the density times g times that height up top. And that gives me all my information on the right side of the equation. Here, I'm going to choose this as 0 meters. I'm going to choose my 0 height to make my life easier. 1/2 680 times that speed squared. And you notice what a small term this is. So really, as the speed gets very slow, this term becomes insignificant. And then the pressure here. Well, when I do that, I end up getting the absolute pressure at P1 is 341,000, about 250 pascals or newtons per square meter. If I was asking you what the gauge pressure was, I didn't, but if I did, I would have to subtract off the atmospheric pressure. So that becomes around 241,000. Again, keep numbers in your calculator and then round at the end. Hopefully these help for the homework that's going to be due on Thursday.